In today's lesson, we are learning about creating and configuring object in Aptos framework. Actually, we are continuing from our previous lesson. In our previous lesson, I explained what objects are and everything about objects. So if you have not watched that video, do well to go back and watch the video. The link to the video will be in the description below. So take our time and watch the video so that you have a perfect understanding of what we are going to be talking about in this very video. Creating an object involves two steps. One, creating the object call resource group, which has an address you can use to refer to the object later. Then secondly, customizing how the object will behave using permission called ref. When it comes to creating an object in Aptos, there are three types of object you can create. There are three types of object you can create. One, the normal objects. Then the second one is the name object. And the third one is the sticky object. Now let's look at them one after the other. The normal object. The normal object is this type of object is deletable and has a random address. It can be deleted. After creating it, it can be deleted. So this is how it is created. If you look at this, this is a function. From the beginning of the code, this is the name of the model under this address. Then we imported the signer from the standard library, and we imported the object from Aptos framework using this use keyword. Then this is the function. We declared a function, and the name of the function is create normal object. Then the function is accepting a single parameter, and the parameter is accepting is an address. Then if you notice, we use the signer object which we imported to derive a signing ability from the address that we receive from the parameter. So that's, and we stored inside the variable called caller address. Then in the next line, we created the object using the caller address. So we said object create object. Then we passed the caller address as an argument to create the object. Because if we're creating an object, we need either one or two arguments. But for the creating normal object, we need just one argument. The person that is calling the function. This is the person's address that we passed to it, and it returned a constructor ref. And this constructor ref is what we use in configuring the objects. But this is how a normal object is created in Aptos framework. If you notice, this is the object, and this part is create object, meaning this object that we are creating now can be deleted. So it is not permanent, it can be deleted. This is the first type of object in Aptos framework. Now let's move to the next type. In the second type of objects that can be created, the second type of object that can be created is called named object. A named object, this is a type that is not deletable and has a deterministic address. That means it can be the address of the object can be determined from creation, and this is the way it is created. So it uses seed because it having a deterministic address. So we need seed to create the address. So this is the second function we are using to create, and we name this function create name object. Now the same way we retrieve the signer ability from the address with the signer tools that we imported from the standard library, we stored the address, the ability within this variable called caller address. Then in the next line, we created the object. And this time around, instead of using create object, which is for the normal creation of objects, we use create named object, and we pass two arguments to it: the caller and the caller address and the seed that we coded in this very part. Look at the seed, constant name. Then a vector, we said this is invite. So, and we passed the seed. So this time is this this object has an address that we can retrieve in a known address, because we use the caller address and the seed to create the object address. So that's the second type of object that can be created in Aptos framework. Then the third type of object that we can create in Aptos framework is called sticky object. This type of object is not deletable and has a random address. Unlike the name object that is deterministic, I mean, it's the creation of the address is where is known from the beginning. But for the sticky object, the address is random. So when it is created, it gives a random address. No, you cannot determine the address from the beginning. So you can only get the address when you need it. But the name object you can create as when creating the object, you create you give the seed for the object to create the address. But with this sticky object, the address is random. It cannot be deleted, just like the name address is not deletable. The sticky object is not deletable. So now, with this, look at the function. In this function, we are creating the sticky object. We first of all call the keyword func, then the name of the function, then also we passed in a parameter, then we use the signer to derive this signing ability for the address. Then we created the object in this particular line. We said create sticky object. So if I want to create a normal object, I will just use the word create. I will just say create normal object. I'll use the word create. I'll just say create object for creating normal object. But if I want to create a name object, I will say create named object. Then pass in my two parameter, which is the color, address, and the seed. Remember, the name object cannot be deleted once created. Then the same thing goes for this sticky object. It cannot be deleted, but the address is created randomly, unlike the named object. So these are the three types of objects, and these are the ways they are created in Aptos framework. Next part, we'll be learning about the configuration, how to configure the object that we have created.